The life of Judy Garland.
Are you kidding?
June 10th, 1922. The hall of a maternity hospital in Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
Grand Rapids is in Michigan.
This is Grand Rapids, Minnesota.
This whole thing is starting off with a lie.
A man paces nervously up and down the hall. His name is Frank Gum.
Again, please.
Gum, Bum. Frank Gum of the internationally famous team of Jack and Virginia Lee.
Again, please.
Well, Jack Lee was the stage name of Frank Gum, and Virginia Lee was the stage name of Virginia Lee. I mean, Ethel Gum, who is Frank Gum's wife. And she's the one who's expecting the baby.
Is the whole thing going to be like this?
Frank Gum is worried.
I'm worried, too.
He gives voice to his troubled thoughts as he paces up and down.
How the hell can you close in Tacoma, Washington on Wednesday night and open in El Paso on Thursday morning?
While in the darkened room off the hall lies the expectant figure of Virginia Lee.
Who is known professionally as Frank Gum.
No, Virginia Lee is Ethel Gum. She, too, looks at the world through worried eyes. She, too, speaks of the troubles which beset her mind at this crucial moment.
How the hell can you close in Tacoma, Washington on Wednesday night and open in El Paso on Thursday morning?
And in the street below, gazing somberly up at the shaded window, stand two tiny little tots, Mary Jane Gum and Dorothy Virginia Gum.
Two little gumdrops. Yuck, yuck, yuck.
Their minds, too, are troubled by the events of the day. And what can be troubling their little minds?
I know. How the hell can you close in Tacoma, Washington on Wednesday night and open in El Paso on Thursday morning?
They know only that their mummy is in the hospital waiting for something. What is it she is waiting for? They think they know the answer. Waiting for the rubber, waiting for the rubber, waiting for the rubber. The moment has come. The delivery room is a beehive of activity. The doctor lifts the newly arrived infant into the air by its feet, and with the palm of his hand, he spanks the infant into life. And a star is born. 2 years later, Jack and Virginia Lee have closed in Tacoma, Washington on Wednesday night and are opening in El Paso on a Thursday morning. They are playing a split week in an Indian wigwam.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Miss Virginia Lee will play Kitten on the Keys. May I draw your attention to the fact that Miss Lee has particularly tiny hands. Hold up your hands, darling. That's right.
Later in the same act, Frank Gum makes an announcement that is destined to change the course of theatrical history.
Now, this time you must be kidding.
Ladies and gentlemen, I take great pleasure in presenting to you for the first time on any stage my little daughter, age 2, who will sing for you, Baby Gum.
Shouldn't that be bubble gum?
Go ahead, baby.
Yes, Daddy. Jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to let me do
Very good, baby. Thank you. All right, baby. You can stop now.
The stage manager is entranced by the tiny tot.
Get that kid the hell off the stage!
The proud mother and father beam at each other.
Frank, do something. They'll start throwing things in a minute.
Lend me that scarf you're wearing.
Be careful, Frank. Not Frank.
And so Baby Gum met the world, and the world met Baby Gum. She grew from babyhood to childhood, and from childhood to little girlhood.
What the hell is so unusual about that?
From El Paso to Long Beach,
To Pittsburgh,
So long time.
New York,
Ventura,
Chicago.
Bakersfield,
and back to El Paso.
From El Paso to Natchez.
from Natchez to St. Joe.
And Lowe's car in St. Joe.
Wherever the five gums blow, and they blew, there was Baby. She was growing up, and her voice was taking on fire.
run in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle.
And then came the day when Baby Gum joined her two sisters and their singing act, already famous under the name of the Yacht Club Boys. The three sisters, devoted to each other, changed the name of their act to the Three Saw Gums. Will you ever forget their number that will live on in vaudeville history?
Along down the Mississippi, New Orleans, on the old side wheel of St. John. Doggies crooning southern melodies, harmonizing soft and low. Way down upon the Swanee River, I'm coming, so weep no more, my lady. Smoke's a-rolling from the old smokestack, a whistle blowing, honey, and I'm never coming back. Oh, way down south in the land of cotton, folks up north will be forgotten. Floating down the Mississippi to New Orleans, on the old side wheel of St. John.
Some bones. Then came the fateful year of 1929. The nation rocked from the impact of the Wall Street crash. The world, confused and uncertain, was shaken to its very foundations by fear and want.
What has that got to do with Judy Garland?
Must everything have to do with Judy Garland? There are other things in the world.
So sorry.
But what of the little girl with the great big voice, who by now has risen to a fat 4 feet and 6 inches? What worlds remain for her to conquer? What new fields beckon to this little tornado of song?
Oh, come now.
All right, so they didn't have to eat. That meant Hollywood. Baby was to storm the mighty citadel of cinema.
This is murder, Jack.
The time had come for the three little gums to be torn apart. Baby's two sisters carried on without her. They achieved immediate fame as the Four Mills Brothers. And on the hot pavement of Gower Street, Hollywood, Ethel Gum,
The little girl with the little hands who played the little kitten on the little keys,
stands with her leather-lunged baby before the portals of fame and fortune.
on Gower Street.
With a mother's wisdom, she speaks to her child.
Remember, baby, sing good and sing loud. And if you can't do both, sing loud.
And Hollywood, with its characteristic decisiveness, instantly appraised this new talent. Paramount.
Don't know why there's no sun up in that sky, stormy weather.
Think. Fox.
Zing go the strings of my heart.
Get her out of here.
Universal.
Barrel House out.
RKO.
So let them begin, let the love that was once a fire remain an ember.
We don't want a little girl with a great big voice. We want a great big girl with a little voice. Correct.
Monogram.
Gold dust at your feet on the sunny side of the street.
We think you're great, but you'll have to work for nothing.
Night.
Things looked black for Baby Gum. 10 years of work and nothing to show for it but an overdeveloped diaphragm. And as she sat there sadly contemplating that diaphragm, little did she know that in an office at MGM, her agent, Bocce Galupe, was talking to a person who shall be nameless.
Your help, brother.
Listen, boss. I'm a-telling you, this girl has got the greatest voice in the whole world, a minute. Better than Jeanette McDonald, I suppose.
She can even bite better than a McDonald, man.
What has she got that she and Harlow ain't got?
Boss, this is a little girl, but she's the greatest singer of songs in the whole world, man.
All right. What's her name?
Vienna Durbin, man.
And what's the deal?
$100 a week, man.
We'll make it 90.
Make it 100, and I throw in another thing in a minute.
Who's the other one?
Just a minute, boss. I got a name here on a piece of paper. Let me see. I can't read it so good. I wrote in my pocket just a few months ago. Oh, yeah, Bessie, here it is. Doody, Moody, Judy, Booty, something like that. The booty ball in them.
How good can she sing?
She's a singer. Are you going to worry for $10 a week coming up?
Okay, you got a deal.
The barriers were down. The walls had been stormed. Baby Gum was on her way. Baby Jem was at MG Gum. Gummy Ma'am was at Jimmie meaning a mile. In the meantime, Mary Jane and Dorothy Virginia, better known as the four Mills brothers, had now become the three Andrews sisters and were not doing very well. But back in Hollywood for Baby Gum, one smash followed another. Pigskin Parade. No. Little Darling. No. Everybody sing. No. Love Comes to Andy Hardy. No. And her salary, too, rose to unparalleled heights. From $10 a week up to $11 a week, down to $7.50 a week, back to 10, then up, 16, 17, 17 again, 18. And with her salary, her fame grew. People all over the world knew and loved her as the girl who brought to life such magnificent scenes as this one with Mickey Rooney.
Betsy, I didn't know. The first thing I knew, I was behind the bush with this other girl. And she kissed me before I could get my breath.
Oh. As the girl who sang to Clark Gable.
You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it. Gee, Mr. Gable, I didn't mean to fall in love with you, but gosh, when I went to see those pictures, gosh, Mr. Gable.
As the girl who danced with Gene Kelly. As the girl who matched voices with Sophie Tucker. Listen for Judy. And so, as it must to all the great of the theater, we come to the final inevitable moment of triumph, the highest recognition that the American public can tender to its most revered artist. It is a summer night, 1943, in New York City. Never has a more distinguished audience gathered to do homage to a great star. Her first concert at Carnegie Hall, accompanied by the New York Philharmonic Orchestra under the baton.
By the way, have you seen Baton, a stark, realistic story of 13 men and no plot?
Of Arturo Toscanini. Sitting expectedly in two inexpensive gallery seats are baby's two sisters, Dorothy Virginia and Mary Jane, who have by now reached the absolute pinnacle of fame. They are known from coast to coast as Phil Spitali and his Hour of Charm.
We must stay vigilant, we must stay vigilant, we must stay vigilant today.
The great moment is at hand. Maestro Toscanini stands in the wings, flexing his fingers. Before the door of her dressing room, baby's mother keeps away the throng of eager admirers, allowing her daughter opportunity for one last moment of vocal relaxation.
A jingle bells, jingle bells, jingle,
Really? The house lights dim. A hush falls over the distinguished audience. Maestro Toscanini strides to his place on the conductor's stand. So tense is the moment that there is not even a ripple of applause for the great man. The spotlight moves to the wings at one side of the proscenium, where a slight, beautifully gowned figure enters to walk quietly to her place beside the great Toscanini. The great conductor raises his baton.
Robert Taylor's greatest role.
And the moment of moments has arrived. June 10th, 1943. Anyway, Judy, here we are. You're 21 years old, and we all love you very, very much.